What is going on, collectors? Optical 20 back for another video review. Today we're going to take a look at Carnage from Venom Let Carnage from Hot Toys, and you can order this at bigbadtoystore.com. I'll put the link down below. Massive figure. You can see from the box right here, I can't even fit it on the screen, but I do have Venom, so I decided, you know what, why not get Carnage? I've heard so many good things about it. Plus, it just, I don't know, man. I'm just drawn off to bigger figure nowadays. I actually want to start a line with quarter scale. It's just hard to display. But this, I'll show you the size comparison later, but it's almost a quarter scale. But take a look at the unboxing. So he comes with a lot. A little too much, to be quite honest with you. But that's always a good thing sometimes. And this is part of his, you know, like, I guess, I don't know, tentacles. How do you symbiote? I don't know how do you say that, but he has a lot. Yeah, like you can interchange his hands, his tentacles from the back, and they're massive and they're heavy as well. So be careful displaying him with that. But I like that little tray because you could separate it from the box, like just like I did, and keep it. Because I put the box back in the garage, and with the accessories, normally you put them in a tray, but they're too damn big. So you can't do it like that. So even the tentacles here, I put them on like a bag, like a fabric bag, that so they don't rub off, you know, to each other and damage the paint. But like I said earlier, I am gonna keep this, you know, tray right here, and you have all these different, I guess, gesture or hands or whatever you want to call them, and they're amazing. You know, like you can switch it out. I can guarantee you, for most of the people, these are gonna stay in the box. They are not gonna use this because it's once you put all the tentacles in the back as well, they're a bit heavy. So I did mine and it toppled over, and then you insert these, you know, these hands and whatnot, and it makes it a little bit more dangerous as well. So you got the claw hands, you got the sword right hand, sickle left hand, clench left claw, you know, you got the tentacles, they have wires inside. A lot of things in here. So there's no shortage of, again, of looks that you could pull off. Interchangeable symbiote parts, okay, attachable to the tentacles. Okay, so these are, I guess, the sword right hand and sickle left hand. They're interchangeable too, I suppose. They're not really marked as right or left, but I believe they are. And then you got the clench left claw hand. Where is that? I guess on the top side. And attacking claw hands, a pair of them. Okay, so that's clenched apparently, the one on the top. Okay, so I also got, this is the deluxe version, so I'm gonna get the Eddie Brock head sculpt version. But for now, you can see all these, they're heavy as well. And they're nice. They're nice. I don't know, man. There's some holes in there too. So that gives it a little bit more depth, which is cool. Now you got the tentacles here, which is, by the way, this inserts nicely. I just don't know if you can insert them all at once. I think you have to pick one or the other. I think at max I was only able to put on 2. And this is the base, which I do like. It kind of is the same one, pretty much as Venom. I don't know if it's big or not, but I like the artwork in here, and it's a little shiny on that Carnage image, and then a little bit more textured at the other part, and they have this Carnage plaque going on, so that's beautiful. It comes with 3 tongues. It comes with 2 head sculpts, which is, you know, we're gonna dive in a little bit later on. And the tongue is great. It does have magnet, and this guy does not have that kind of like rod sticking out compared to the Venom back then, where it does have like a little sculpted area. This one, you just kind of stick the tongue in, and you know, you're done. So you can pass him off just like shouting, and you don't have that, you know, that little magnet sticking out there. And then I love this Venom Let Carnage Venom bust. I wish it came with 2, or Carnage himself. I wish Carnage himself comes with his own, because you do have an extra head sculpt that you'll be like, hey man, I'd rather have this not in the box and displayed. So, and it's magnets as well. Beautiful head sculpt. You got Tom Hardy in there, and then you got the teeth kind of like going in and out. This is included to the new Venom. So if you bought the first version like myself, this would be, a good addition. So let's take a look at the body. First and foremost, it's massive. It has a lot of presence. The paint application is beautiful. We'll go with the articulation later on, but it's more articulated than I thought it would be. I like the paint here. It does have that shine to it, and I'm sure you can capture it. Hopefully you're watching in 4K. It does look slimy and greasy, which represents Carnage beautifully. He does have noticeable seams on the elbows, on the leg here, on the wrist pegs, but it seems organic. Kind of like an Iron Man figure. You don't really mind. I mean, at least I don't really mind it. It's not an eyesore. I guess it's because of how he is constructed. He's not like, for example, Gore, where it's obvious, right? Like with him, even those, I don't know how you call them, tentacles that's kind of sticking out of his body, they are soft rubber, and you see the joints on the back of his knee, his glutes. And one more thing that I want to compliment on this figure, even the elbows there, it's like the color coordination is there. Look at the back part where you insert the tentacles. You can barely see them, especially in hand, like especially on different. Look at that. It's so flushed in compared to the Venom that I have, where it kind of sticks out. This is beautiful. On the side as well. Not like I'm going to display my figure, from the back, but knowing that it is what it is, I think it's a big plus and a big, I would say, improvement to the first Venom. And you see here again that shine slash, it's just slick, like it just looks slimy, and just like when you hold it, feels like it's just gonna get off your hand. Head sculpt, man, it is beautiful. I thought that the Venom was amazing until I saw this. The paint application on the teeth is something different from Venom, at least my Venom as well. The Venom that I do have, it's beautifully done, but the gradient from the teeth, you can see it does have that shine again, but it does come off like it's coming from black, the gradient going to the white. This is magnetized as well, so again, same thing as Venom. The paint application is consistent from the head through the body, even the shine. The eyes, I would say the eyes itself is, Venom's eyes are nice, but this guy feels like it's kind of like bloodshot on some areas. You have those little black, I don't know how to call them, like veins crawling out of it, and it is just beautiful. It was just kind of weird to say on a creature like Carnage, but I thought it was gonna be hard to top Venom, honestly, because I thought that was top notch. But I'm just pleasantly surprised with Carnage himself. And now it's so easy to swap out head sculpt because it's magnets, and the magnet is pretty strong, by the way. He actually got a tumble, and he's fine. And this is the kind of like the open mouth version, which again, you could display without a tongue compared to the Venom one. So that's a big plus as well. I don't know, is the Venom, the new Venom, kind of like the same? Maybe. And you can see the tendons on his jawline there separated as well, like he's screaming. And again, the tongue, you got 3 sets of tongue, so it's beautiful. Man, 2 head sculpts. I miss the good old days. And he doesn't have like a real face per se, so that's why. But if you get the newer Venom, he even comes with 3 head sculpts. So the screaming one, like the relaxed one, I don't know if you want to call it smiling, and then the transition one where he's like transitioning from Eddie Brock into Venom. But look at the paint application here. It has all the elements of the other guy, but you can see the tongue here. I'm just gonna demonstrate it for anyone who hasn't seen this before. That easy. Magnet is pretty strong. You just kind of put it out there. You don't have to finagle your way, find that spot, and it is beautiful. And again, you do have 3 options. You got a longer one as well, a lot longer than this, and kind of like a shorter one. Or if you don't want to put a tongue at all, that's also an option. I think this is the longer one out of the 3, so camera can't even get it all, as you can see here. See, that's like Gene Simmons right there from Kiss. But yeah, it looks pretty nice, honestly. I love the head sculpt, both of them. And while we're at it, let's take a look at the Eddie Brock / Venom head sculpt. Because if you get the deluxe, we're assuming that you do have the first Venom. And from what I heard from some reviews as well, like the new Venom does come with that shine, but for me it's not worth picking up. Like my Venom has no value now because of that, so you know I'm not gonna sell it just to get that little shine on it. But nonetheless, I love this bust. I actually displayed the bust right next to my desk. I wish they would do this a lot more for a lot of characters, because I don't mind paying an extra $60, because for $60 extra you get a head sculpt and a bust. That's not a bad deal. Anytime that you buy a head sculpt, whether it's third party, on eBay, custom, that sometimes you can buy them as cheap as $30, with a horrible head sculpt paint application, but it doesn't have a bust. So I am willing and happy to pay an extra bust anytime that a figure comes with 2 head sculpt. Give us that option, and I'll take the deluxe / bust route any day of the week. Now, articulation. Now we're looking at a massive figure here. So since this is magnetized, you can pretty much do whatever you want. But this is a body with some rubber on top of it, and the arms moves pretty well, and it's kind of squishy inside, and I don't know if you can hear it, but I'm gonna crank up the volume. Well, you won't yet. It's there are certain areas. So the elbow, obviously it's not double jointed. You can see it there, single jointed elbow for visual purposes. Now the legs can come off or you can pull it down a la Iron Man, so you don't have that kind of rubbing off surfaces on the side, which you would see how and the knees, not double jointed, but I don't think it needs to be. Ankle articulation there. On the waist area, you could move it left and right. It does have that click. You hear that right there. There you go. It does have that ratchet joint, even the bending forward and back, although I did it and it didn't feel different. It feels the same way visually, so I don't know why you would do that. Now the legs, I was trying to pull it down here, and you'll see what happened is the leg comes off. Don't worry, you can pop it right back on, but it does come off. And I was just like, what the heck just happened here? I popped it back on, no harm done, but just to let you know, if that happens, it is normal. And after this articulation, let's go to some poses here. It's raining by the cathedral. This is towards the end of Venom and Carnage here. So this is him with just no accessories, the hands that he came with, no tentacles, as you can see here. This is how much I'm gonna display him, because again, I tried him with the bells and whistles that he's attached with, and yeah, it was too heavy. It was too heavy for him. The base that he does have, the crotch grabber, it kind of helps, but yeah, I wouldn't trust it. And again, this is him on top of I don't know, some building, and it's snowing here. Here he does have the sword right hand and the sickle left hand. Let's see here. See, I got it right. I didn't even know that that was the case. I'm reading the description right now at Big Bad Toy Store. So, but yeah, it's quite heavy as well. That's why you see me posing him kind of like leaning towards one side. That is to balance him nicely here. And it is snowing. And one more pose here, I believe, to wrap this thing is with the tentacles on. And this is the when he's escaping the prison. Again, he looks pretty cool here until he took a tumble. And because those tentacles, they are secured nicely. And you can see I am using the crotch grabber / base. But once you insert them on his back, the weight distribution is not even. So even though I put some tentacles forward where, to kind of at least compensate for that, it's still imbalance. So if you're going to display him like this, A, you got to have a big space, and B, you got to be careful. Again, I'm lucky, no harm done, no paint has been chipped or anything like that. Well, all the tumble was really low anyway. Plus, he got caught in between my table, so... But the head kind of flew far, but it's alright. And here he is. So just size comparison here. They're all 1/6. And I thought Venom was huge up until he's next to Carnage. And look at Spider-Man. My goodness. He is tiny compared to these two guys right here. But that's how it's supposed to be. So I think if you have both or either, and you want to create a scene with Spider-Man, fighting and whatnot, I think it would look great. I honestly think it would look great. And this is him right next to Thanos. Again, a massive figure. Now, Thanos is a little beefier. He's thicker. But Spider-Man grew, as you can see here. And this is a quarter scale Spider-Man. And he's pretty much the same height as Carnage. So, as far as display and shelf presence, you cannot beat Carnage. He's not quarter scale. He's 1/6 technically, but the price that you're paying, it looks like you're paying for a quarter scale, and the figure that you're getting is also as big as a quarter scale. And there you go, guys. Final thoughts on this Carnage. I personally like it. This is one of those figures where I couldn't wait to have. I was not gonna wait for a massive sale on this. Although I think it will, but I just couldn't do that. So because of I have a lot of things on my mind on how to display him or how he can interact with Spider-Man and Venom. And also I'm excited for that head sculpt with Venom. So now, which one to get? I would say if you have the previous Venom, it's not a no-brainer. You get the deluxe. Now if you don't have the previous Venom, you can get, and you're interested in this, you might as well get the newer Venom with the included head sculpt. Or if you want to, scour BSTs, Venom is kind of getting cheaper right now. You can get this with a bust as well. Because even if you do get, I don't know, man. Because the bust itself, I think it's pretty nice, but it just gives you incentive if you have the previous Venom. But overall, I love this figure. He's 1/6 technically, so I can have him interact with my 1/6 figures. But the display option that you have, because since he's so big, feels like you have a quarter scale / statue. So all he's missing is a fancy base, and you got all you need. But I highly recommend this figure. You could wait, in my opinion, because he's pretty expensive, but I can see him going down if you are patient enough. But thank you for watching. Hopefully you do like this video. Give it a thumbs up. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so. Follow me on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitch. And I will see you guys in the next video.